Welcome to the Global SCM Leaders on Demand. We are on location in Houston, Texas. I'm Joe O'Reilly, senior writer for Inbound Logistics Magazine. I'm happy to join John Love, who's vice president for Gray Peaks, to talk about his impressions of the conference thus far. John, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Perhaps some thoughts on the conference thus far.
Well, I think it's really interesting that there's some of the largest shippers from the region in the oil and gas industry attending the conference, representing some of the major corporations here. That gives us a really good insight into some of their thinking and the way they're working, and the challenges they have, particularly in supply chain in oil and energy.
Are there any trends or themes that have surfaced that have sort of struck you?
Yes, there've been some. Although the presentations have covered a number of areas, there's actually been a number of themes. Obviously, there's a key theme with compliance, the increasing regulatory compliance around the world, and health, safety, and environmental compliance. So there's a real theme of corporate responsibility and a high effort on safety and compliance, which is quite interesting for the industry, obviously for obvious reasons. Also, I think a good theme was highlighted by Ryder, but the use of control towers. The use of control towers, not just for US domestic, but now rolling those control towers out into global regions, using the technology, using the techniques to gain real advantage. So I think that those two things, and then probably carrying on more the view of supply chain within the industry is now increased. It's highlighted as a key opportunity. So whereas I think historically the logistics and the supply chain was almost a necessary evil within the industry, now that it's seen as both a necessity in terms of delivering on the safety aspects and compliance aspects, but also that there are real cost advantages to addressing the supply chain that maybe previously the senior executives didn't really focus on. They were focused on production and customers, but actually these other things have become highlighted. So that's also interesting, following the trends in other industries, I think.
That is interesting. Oil and gas really embracing supply chain, an industry that has always been sort of boom and bust, and now we're starting to see some stability there. Any other concluding observations or comments?
Well, yes, probably following on from that last one, that now that the whole supply chain and logistics has become almost, it's probably an insult, but almost professionalized, but certainly having a higher profile and following some of the trends in other industries. So there are other industries where supply chain has always been critical, and adopting the techniques from those other industries, maybe not copying them, because oil and energy has unique characteristics which make their supply chains more complex, and therefore more difficult to get your hands around. But actually now taking that challenge and realizing the benefits. There were a number of stories of really seeing seriously quantifiable benefits from getting your hands around it and bringing it under control. So I think, all in all, that's very, very positive. Positive for oil and energy, it's positive for oilfield services, it's positive also for supply chain and logistics generally.
Right. And manufacturing.
And manufacturing. And so I think that whole aspect of raising the profile of professional management and partnering with experts like some of the 3PLs to actually optimize the use of the supply chain.
Very good. Well, that's interesting. Well, that wraps up our time here, so I would like to thank John for sharing his observations and insights.
Thank you.